Okay, there's something quite scandalous I want to talk about, and it's time somebody talked about it. It's how learning from your own mistakes is the biggest scam ever sold to mankind. Okay, learning from your mistakes will literally have you making mistakes forever. Okay, forever. I'm not even joking. Like, and I realized this way. Okay, first I'm going to tell you how I think you should learn, and it's either through like knowledge, maybe like watching things that will teach you something, or reading, or maybe listening to your friends or close people, maybe asking them for advice or something, but just doing things and really not even trying to get knowledge before you do things. That's not the best way to go about things. Okay, I know you can. I'm not telling you not to. You can. But this is how I know about this, and it's because I've been reading a lot of self-help books for about maybe 6 months or so. But before that, I would always watch YouTube videos, and I watch YouTubers that talk about people who know what they're talking about. They talk about, romance, love, heartbreak, whatever. They just talk about things and you learn. I've also there's a lot of YouTube videos out there about like philosophy and what this great thinker taught us. And the more you listen to these things, the more you absorb. I'm not telling you like you're just gonna listen to things and your life is gonna flow perfectly. No, you will still make mistakes, but you'll probably make less mistakes. Because if there's anything I've learned from reading Joe Dispenza, is that when you learn something new, it's kind of like your brain makes all these new receptors, something like that. It's very technical, very, I'm not very familiar with this talk. I read about it, but I can't remember exactly what it said. But it's like when you learn something, your brain, the way it is, it changes. It really changes. And that's, how you learn things, and that's how you change and whatnot. So, like, absorbing knowledge, I'm not saying it's made me perfect, but it's made me make less mistakes. And even if it's made me make one less mistake, that's still one less mistake, and you never know what that mistake could have cost me. So this is where I start talking about why I'm saying this. So I have a friend, and I know everybody's always like, oh, there's always a friend. This friend is probably you. No, no, no. I'm actually talking about a friend, a close friend, who, when it comes to men, like she'll just make the worst mistakes ever. And I've told her, I'm like, listen, you gotta start reading books about like dating, about how you should act. You can't just wing it. You can't just wing it, okay? Unless you're like really, really smart and you got a keen intuition to these things, and you just understand men like the palm of your hands. Because there are some people who are like that. There are some people who are like that, okay? And I know people that ever since they were born, they know things. So oh my god, what does that even mean? Okay, I know people who all my life, ever since I've known them, they just have this like, they're so clever with things. It's almost like they've lived more past lives than me because they were just born with it. But so anyways, I wasn't like that. Like, yeah, there are some things I feel like I've always known, like, not, I don't know, like not crying over a guy, not showing my emotions too soon, not not crying in front of a guy, in front of him, not sending him photos crying, because there are people who do that, not um burying my emotions all on my sleeve. There are some things that even when I was like 15, 16, when I started dating, I just always knew. No one had to tell me. Like, I just always knew, and it saved me a lot of embarrassment, and it saved me a lot of humiliation. But again, this friend I'm talking about, my friend, I'm like, yo, read books. There's even a good book called Why Men Love Biatches. It's a really good book by Sherry Argov, and I told her, like, read this. Maybe start reading another book kind of similar when it comes to dating, how maybe you should act not to get played, because there are people before us who already went through these things, and they're teaching us these things, and we gotta listen. So when we do that, we save ourselves so much time. We save, like, one mistake that you make is not gonna, like, let's say you make a mistake and you learn from it, that's not gonna save you from all future mistakes. And I'm not saying there's anything out there that will, but when you read something, imagine you read a book about dating and you learn so many things. Those are probably like 10 or 15 mistakes you're not gonna make again. Okay, so yeah, I think that's a total scam, a total scam. I never fully bought into it because I was always like, I've always, with that, I've always had a good, I would say, intuition. Like, I've always been like, I really want to learn, I really want to know how. I've always been interested in psychology and stuff like that, so I've always been like, I want to understand how people work. I want to know why people do things. And I've learned a lot over the years, and I can, sometimes kind of smell it out when someone's doing something. I kind of see why they're doing it, what they're looking for. I can see that it's not genuine and it came from knowledge. So if there's anything you're going to take away from this video, is that learning from your mistakes is a scam. Yes, you will make mistakes, but try to minimize them. How do you minimize them? Learning from other people's mistakes and just getting knowledge out there from books, movies, YouTube, whatever. Okay, that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. So if you like this video, like, comment, leave a wow, maybe leave a comment like, oh my god, I learned so much, thank you, something like that. And if you like it, subscribe, because your girl's trying to make it big out here. Okay, that would be all. Toodles.